Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Dr. Ruby and today we are continuing our class on educational psychology. This is our third class in this series. In our previous sessions, we have explored the basics of educational psychology, including its meaning, nature, scope and importance. We have also delved into Pavlov's classical conditioning, behaviorism theory, which are linked in the description below if you missed it. Additionally, we have covered various educational philosophies from both Indian and Western perspectives. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please subscribe now and press the bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Today we are going to explore B.F. Skinner's operant conditioning theory of learning. This theory is fundamental in understanding how behaviors are influenced by their consequences. In this video, we will learn what operant conditioning is, understanding Skinner's theory and its relevance, the core concepts exploring respondent behavior, operant behavior, and the types of reinforcement and punishment. We will learn about Skinner, his life and contributions. We will examine Skinner's famous experiments that demonstrated his theory. Finally, we will understand how we can apply this theory in educational settings. So let us start by understanding what operant conditioning is. Operant conditioning is a learning theory developed by B.F. Skinner that explains how behaviors are influenced by their consequences. Behavior refers to any action or response a person makes. In the context of operant conditioning, behaviors are influenced by the outcome they produce. For example, if a student completes their homework on time and receives praise from the teacher, they are likely to continue doing their homework promptly. This is because the positive consequence, which is the praise, reinforces the behavior, which is timely submission of homework. Now, consequences are outcome that follows a behavior and affect the likelihood of that behavior being repeated. In the example of the student receiving praise, the praise is a consequence that increases the likelihood of the student continuing to complete homework on time. Operant conditioning helps us understand why we repeat certain behaviors and avoid others based on the rewards or penalties we receive. Now, let us break down the core concepts of operant conditioning, starting with respondent behavior. This type of behavior is automatic and occurs in response to a stimuli. For example, if something suddenly approaches your eye, you automatically blink. This response is not influenced by its consequences. It is rather a reflexive action. Next, operant behavior. Unlike respondent behavior, operant behavior is influenced by the outcomes it produces. For example, a student might study hard to earn good grades and avoid extra assignments. This behavior is shaped by the consequences of studying, positive outcomes like good grades and avoiding extra work. Now coming to the reinforcement. Positive reinforcement. This involves adding something pleasant to increase the likelihood of a behavior being repeated. For example, if a teacher gives a gold star to a student for completing their work diligently, the student is likely to continue working hard to earn more gold stars. Now, negative reinforcement. This involves removing something unpleasant to increase the likelihood of a behavior being repeated. For example, if a teacher announces that students who participate actively in class will be exempted from additional homework, students are likely to engage more actively to avoid the extra work. Now, punishment. This is different from negative reinforcement. Punishment involves introducing or removing something unpleasant to decrease the likelihood of a behavior being repeated. For example, if a student loses their break time for disrupting the class, They are less likely to disrupt the class in the future to avoid losing short breaks. These concepts are the key to understanding how behaviors are shaped and maintained through various forms of reinforcement and punishment. Now, let us learn about B.F. Skinner. B.F. Skinner was an American psychologist known for his contributions to behavioral psychology. Here is a brief overview of his life and work. B.F. Skinner was born on 1904 and he died in 1990. During his life, he made significant contributions to psychology, particularly in understanding behavior through rewards and punishment. Before focusing on psychology, Skinner worked in various fields, including writing and literature. It wasn't until 1930s that he began concentrating on psychology. Skinner introduced his theory in the 1930s, emphasizing that behavior is influenced by its consequences. This theory revolutionized the understanding of behavior and its modification. His book, The Behavior of Organisms, which was published in 1938, laid out his theory and findings in detail. This work became foundational for modern behavior analysis. His work had a profound influence on many areas, including education, therapy, and behavioral modifications. His idea continued to shape how we understand and modify behavior today. Understanding Skinner's contributions help us appreciate the relevance and applications of his theories in various fields. Now, let us look at the experiments that he conducted. Skinner conducted several notable experiments to demonstrate his operant conditioning theory. Let us examine a few of them. Skinner's box. This device was used to study behavior by controlling the environment and observing how animals respond to different types of reinforcement and punishment. The box typically contained a lever or a key that an animal could manipulate to receive a reward. In one of his famous experiments, Skinner placed rats in a Skinner box with a lever that, when pressed, dispensed a food pellet. Over time, the rats learned to press the lever to receive food, demonstrating how behaviors could be shaped and maintained through reinforcement. Skinner also conducted experiments with pigeons. He trained the pigeons to peck at a key to receive food. This experiment showed that even complex behaviors, like pecking a key in a specific pattern, could be shaped by reinforcement. Now, these experiments illustrated that behavior could be modified through rewards and punishments. Skinner's work provided concrete evidence for his theory and showed that both simple and complex behavior could be influenced by their consequences. These experiments highlight how operant conditioning principles can be applied to understand and modify behavior. Now, finally, let us explore how Skinner's theory applies to education. Here are some practical ways to use operant conditioning principles in the classroom. Teachers can use positive reinforcement by giving extra credit for active participation. For example, if a teacher offers extra credit to students who contribute to class discussion, it encourages more students to participate actively. Teachers can announce exemptions from weekly quizzes for students who consistently summarize reading during lectures. This use of negative reinforcement encourages students to summarize reading to avoid additional quizzes. Teachers can provide structured feedback to reinforce timely submissions. For example, giving immediate feedback on assignments helps students understand the importance of submitting work on time and encourages them to maintain this habit. Students can engage actively in class to earn rewards like recognition or extra credit. By participating in class discussion or activities, students can receive positive reinforcement that motivates them to stay engaged. Students can complete assignments early to avoid extra work. For example, if completing assignments ahead of the deadline means avoiding additional tasks, students will be more motivated to finish their work on time. Students can create a self-reward system to stay motivated. For example, setting study goals and rewarding themselves with breaks or leisure activities helps maintain motivation and balance in their academic life. Applying these principles helps create a positive learning environment where desired behaviors are encouraged and maintained. So that was all on today's class on Skinner's operant conditioning. I hope you liked the video. Please let me know in the comment section. Like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching and see you in the next class.